Hello, in this video I will explain to you what is a class, what is an object, the concept of object-oriented programming, how to create classes in Python, and how to create objects from these classes. Initially, when we are talking about programming world, what we do is to try to solve a real-world issues with the help of virtual world solutions. Going from this, you can simply think about classes and objects like a blueprint and implementations of a blueprint. For example, if the object is a car, the class will be the blueprint of this car. Well, Python is an object-oriented programming language. What does that really mean? Object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm based on the concept of objects, which can contain data in the form of files and code in the form of procedures. For example, a class can be a car, and the objects of this class could be a different types of car. The class in Python has some architecture properties, and those are name of the class, properties of the class, constructors. What is a constructor? A constructor is a special kind of method that Python calls when it's instantiate an object using the definitions found in your class. Python relies on the constructor to perform tasks such as assigning values to any instance variables that the object will need when it starts. Now, let's hit the road and start to see how this stuff could be done in Python. So, if we want to create a class of car, of course, the name of the class will be car. But we can't write the name of a class directly. We need to let the compiler know that we are about to create a class. This can be done using a class keyword. So write this down. Now we can write the name of the class. In our case, it's car. Put colon and press enter. Now we need to assign values that class's object will need when they get started. For this, we need constructor. Constructor in Python have fixed name, and it's double underscore init, double underscore, open brackets. Constructors take infinity numbers of arguments depending on values you need to assign to your object. Be careful. In Python, the first argument must be self keyword. Self keyword represents the instance of the class. By using the self keyword, we can access the attributes and methods of the class in Python. It binds the attributes with the given arguments. But how does constructor assigns values to class's object? It's very simple. Data for any object will be identified by user when he ever creates objects from our class. And we will take those values as arguments through our constructor. So, as our class is a car, what kind of data we would know about any object would be created from this class? It could be color. What else? Maybe company. Well, that's enough right now. Let's write this down. So color that the user will enter when he creates the object from this class, and a company. Of course, you can add whatever you want here, guys, but right now, that's enough to get the idea across. Oops, we forgot something important here. As the constructor is a method, we have to use def keyword before defining it. So, well, that's fine. Now, using self keyword, we will bind the arguments with the related object attributes. Color, well, color, self point company equal company. Now, let's write method to show objects attributes. Show, so we'll take also self keyword. Okay, press enter and print self color self company. Now you are ready enough to start creating objects from this class. To create object in Python, first you will need to write the name of the object you want to create. In our case, it could be car1. Put equal mark and then write the name of the class that you are creating object from. Open brackets. Python will show you in default the data you will need to specify about your object. Here, its color and company. So this could be red and OD. Now, we want to see the attributes of our object. How can we do this? Simply, we can do this using show method we've been defined in car class. But how can we call this method? Well, simply, to call any method defined in your class, you will have to write your object name, point, and a list of methods of the related class will be shown to you. Choose your method and press enter. Now we can run the program and see what we really have been done. See, we got here red and OD, and this is actually the arguments we've been specified here for our object. Before ending, I want to mention something very important. Does really every class needs constructor to be usable? Well, the answer is yes. Constructor is the builder guy who builds your objects. And buildings cannot be built without builders. Well, if this is true, do you think that this code will work? As you see here, we don't have any constructor for our class. And this code must do the same stuff that this code does. Well, first, let's run the program and then we will discuss it. Oops, that working. But we've just said that every class must have a constructor. Well, the secret behind this is that when you create a class without constructor, Python automatically creates a default constructor for you. This constructor doesn't do anything, and it will be like this. Be sure of your spaces. But in this case, you will be forced to define attributes of your class here in the beginning like this. Later, when an object of the class is created, the user will assign value to these attributes using the object name in this way. That's all from me in this video. Please let me know your feedback in comments, and ta-ta for now.